A roll call, please.
Member Cottrell.
Here.
Member Dahlman.
Here.
Member Kerouac.
Here.
Member Stratoff. Here. You have a quorum, sir.
Okay, let's see. Consideration of the minutes of December 6th. Anybody have any comments?
January 3rd.
Huh?
Yeah.
What do I have? What am I looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah. This says December 6th.
That was the first item considered on the meeting of the January 3rd.
Yeah.
All right.
I made
told
the
you I'm
same
60
mistake.
seconds behind.
You speak the
All right,
truth.
consideration of the meetings of January 3rd.
I approve as submitted.
Any other comments?
Second.
Second, okay. Roll call.
It can be a voice vote, sir.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
Hot dog. You could quit doing that stuff then for everything.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor of the minutes as approved, as written?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? No.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, any non-agenda items? Nobody's in the audience. Is there anybody out in TV land that's?
No, sir.
Nobody's out there? Okay, we are ripping. Gotta quit looking at these. So the discussion regarding CBD streetscape and furniture. And
Yeah, so this is like a part two. The first set of street safe furniture that you guys talked about and reviewed were these large Adirondack chairs that we have fortunately have found a couple of residents that are skilled craftsmen that are going to, they've sourced locally grown wood and they're going to work and build these very soon. One of them's one of our craftsmen still out of the country, but when he comes back in, he and another are going to tackle it. I'm going to be a little helper, and I think they're going to find some other helpers. So if anybody else is interested,
Yeah.
please jump in. So those are going to be placed in front of that, on that circle in front of Innovasi. And this was also suggested, and maybe if the village wanted to mix it up, or on occasion place those Adirondack chairs elsewhere, like on the village green, and have these as some other alternative. A resident had suggested these, and our trusty administrative intern, Eric Mueller, back in the back of the boardroom there, did some research and found these. They were on display and use at Oak Brook Mall, and they are actually metal, look like wicker, and reportedly very comfortable. So I put that in front of you as some other alternative. If you like it, if you don't, that's okay too. But just throw that out there and wanted to get some feedback on it.
what does anybody think? Scott?
I like them. They look cool. Where would these go exactly?
Underneath the twinkle lights in front of the Innovasi on that corner, that large circular area, going back to when that area, part of the streetscape was approved, I think the ABR's direction was to let's go slow. Let's not throw a bunch of things out there and let's see how it lives and people use the space. The general observations of that space are on Sunday mornings during probably 2/3 of the year, local cyclists push all the tables together and have breakfast there. At other times, after school, kids will throw their bikes against the brick seat walls and hang out there. On Farmers Market Fridays, it's kind of a town crier location. People are out there peddling various political issues, or various nonprofits are trying to educate the community about what they're up to. So it's taken on a lot of different roles, and the village's board goal was not to let any one particular restaurant have use of the space, but they also wanted to make it, to activate it more, and that's how they came up with it. They wanted to talk to you all about what are your thoughts on putting some other furniture there. So that's where we're at. So we've got, again, the first size is the Adirondack chairs, and there's gonna be crafted soon and probably put out this spring, but we can rotate these in as well. The rub with these is there's gonna be more issues with the cushions and taking care of that. Who's gonna take care of that? I'm sure we can figure something out if you think this is a good idea.
How many are you looking to buy?
Just, I mean, kind of.
Just like a little thing.
They're pretty pricey.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
And they're, what, I saw some.
3,700?
50 pounds.
Yeah, oh, yeah, because they would
so-
be hard to,
Which
Well,
is
it'd be hard
good.
for
We want
one
people to
person.
walk off with them.
yeah, but those cushions are expensive. I don't know if you priced out like to replace cushions,
Oh, cushions are
they're
silly,
crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So that would be a
but I
concern.
would
Yeah.
think that those would have to be stored every day
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. I mean, they're
Just because
hundreds.
of, there's trees,
Yeah.
well, there's no trees right under here.
Yeah.
But leaves blow in and birds and just people.
Yeah, I think Innovaci leaves theirs out pretty much unless it's like a planned.
Yeah, they have and I have their line. It's a thinner, I'm just afraid, and that's more of a dedicated clientele. If you look at like middle schoolers, just like, people are just gonna sit on these. And I'd feel, the Aerodynamic, I think, are such a nice, simple, without, if something scratches, you paint it and you call it a day. This thing, one little cut in a cushion, and I just think it's a very expensive proposition for the clientele.
furniture.
Yeah. If it was like in a private somewhere we can control it, I think they're lovely. But I think just as a public piece of furniture, I would be worried that, and I do think there'd be pushback on what we paid for them.
Plus the cushions could always grow legs as well.
And that's the other, yeah, I mean, many different
There's
reasons.
gotta be a way that they attach when they're in there.
Yeah, but
Some
no matter what you do,
method.
it's, yeah.
I think they're cool, but
Yeah, I think I understand the concern, and we had similar concerns, but wanted to air it out.
Yeah.
I mean, the difference again with Adirondack chair, those are gonna be oak, super heavy, hard
Yeah.
to move,
Yeah.
right? And like you said, somewhat indestructible.
Yeah.
It's not a challenge.
Right, yeah.
well, these look pretty indestructible.
Yeah, these are,
They're
yeah,
metal, but
besides-
the cushions are right.
The cushions are the
yeah.
issue, and
Yeah.
I assume that you could not sit on them without cushions.
I wonder, does Old Orchard take those, or do they?
Yeah, what do they do? This
Do
is
they-
at Oak Brook Mall? Yeah. Do they leave them out?
Do you know what they do, Eric? Did they say, do they leave them out all summer, or do they take the cushions and they do you know? We can find that out.
Yeah,
The other thing would be is, it rains, say you have a day of rain.
Yeah,
How long would it take those to dry out?
yeah,
no idea. Yeah.
yeah. They may have a repellent, some of those fabrics now
umbrella.
are hydro,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's probably the same kind of
Hydrophobic.
stuff they use on marine applications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, yeah,
they
sunbrellas.
tell you what it is.
Yeah, they're all
somewhere.
sunbrellas that are pretty good with that.
Sunbrella,
Yeah,
yeah, sunbrella is
I know.
also very pricey material.
yeah, it's all, yeah, I priced out cushions, it's painful. It's a good percentage of the price. And I would say, let's start with, I would do the Aerodynamics for a while, and instead of having rotating or having, I'd say we do those.
Live with it and see what
Live
happens.
with it, yeah, I mean, I think you're supporting local people, all that is a great story versus,
Is Bob is he one of the guys? Because did he make his?
He did.
Okay, because I know he built boats.
Yep.
He actually did some work on my boat. So,
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going with skilled artisans.
yeah,
yeah.
good. It's gonna look
So
like
is
a
this
boat.
something that people would
Not a terracotta.
use, or is
Yeah,
it
so
more of a
the-
sculpture?
No, I think they're creating a seating.
There, yeah, it's gonna be that with like footstools to kind of create spaces
Yeah.
for people, and the kids will play on them. Imagine kids like Instagrammable opportunities.
That's true. It is an Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. I think, and people, I think will respect not respect, but I think they're not
substance.
special enough
Yeah.
that someone's gonna mess with them, but they're very comfy,
Well, they'll maybe carve their name in them and stuff like that, which,
Yeah, that's okay, that's
okay.
character. I don't know, do kids carry
What do you
knives
guys
around
think?
anymore?
I'm thinking of what should be there. It's got to be comfortable. It's got to be low maintenance. It should be rust-proof, and it should be ADA compliant. And that last one, I'm not sure these are. They take a lot of the elderly people in town, like me. If I sit in those chairs, I'm not sure I'll ever be able to get
well,
up.
I got that problem at home.
Yeah. I went on the internet today and pulled up some pictures of just general seating that could be used in public spaces. I mean, I'm not particularly in favor of any of these, but I kind of like the idea, rather than something that's low down, that takes up a lot of space that only one person can sit in, and these are expensive.
They
Yeah.
are expensive.
You could get a movable table with 4 chairs around it, or you could get 2 or 3 of them that people could pull 2 chairs over and have 6 chairs at a table. and various alternatives. There's a lot of ways of doing
There's
this.
a lot, one of the things that bothers me, is when we, in your plaza that you did for your mom, everything up there on on a circular thing is a rectangle. And it's like, okay, some of this stuff should relate to the shape where it's sitting.
Yeah.
These things are sort of amorphous. And, that kind of works out sort of cool.
Yeah.
But to have a straight bench there, the curved benches
Right.
that are there,
Yeah.
that kind of define the outline of the plaza are great.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this is in addition to those seat
Yeah.
walls that are there.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I feel that aerodynamics feel more like Lake Bluff than the wire ones for sure. And I don't know if we want more like table and chairs, like that's almost like inviting people
Well,
to buy
yeah.
in a Vasi
I mean,
and
they're-
then sit, which
so far,
we don't want
I
to do.
haven't seen anybody moving the tables out there.
Oh, it happens for sure. It, mostly on Sunday mornings, but
Well, yeah.
John has instructed his management staff and his employees
Not
to,
his place.
and he's aware of that, and he's doing the best he can. But even there's times when customers do it
They just
when they're not even open, right? And there's nothing we can do about
Yeah.
that. But okay, well, I mean, if that's the direction, that makes it simple, and we'll just wait and see how these Adirondack chairs live in the space and
Yeah.
revisit it.
Well,
Makes it
when
easy.
it comes to Adirondack chairs, I've never found one that I thought was comfortable.
Well, these are big, Bob.
These are almost art,
Yeah.
right? They're
Yeah.
Well, you're
playful.
talking about a giant.
Yes,
The big
more
ones,
playful.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sit in it. Or certainly 2 kids could sit in it.
Yeah.
3 kids could say.
That giant one, yeah, you get 10 kids in there.
What's the scale of them? I'm missing out on the scale of the chairs.
Right down.
Yeah.
He's got one sitting in his front.
That's the photo. I mean, it's
Oh,
at
yeah.
least 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And that's why the idea of having the footstools with them that can
Yeah.
be more approachable for smaller people or others,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, I didn't really
It's hard to get the scale.
put the scale, but when you look at the steps,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
And I've seen these at, like, around
Yeah.
Charleston at boardwalks.
sure,
And
yeah.
kids are playing on them and,
yeah,
you know,
yep, it's great.
well, that makes it easy. Then the only related question I was looking for some direction on, if there's any, I sent out an email earlier today.
Yeah.
I think everybody saw it.
Yeah.
Of the streetscape signage, that's something that's a regulatory sign that's not under your purview of you all, but I want to just get some immediate feedback if you had any, if you thought that sign, that scale was too small. The color, we know the color's wrong.
Yeah.
That came out, that was
that
not
up.
matching up with, that was the printer's issue, but,
Can you put that up there on the
yep,
screen?
let me bring it
Okay.
in, I'll bring it up.
And speaking of color, what color are we painting these chairs? Do we have a set color yet?
I think we talked about staining them, like natural.
Oh, okay. So staying the oak, so it's an oak.
Yeah. But if you have ideas about that,
There's always ideas. It's just,
but it's going to be oak wood, so
Yeah.
if you want to think about that,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
have. You want to pickle it, or, I mean, like, I know, like you did with the, your idea about, the village's gateway signs and facility designation signs that Ipe would, you said the direction
It
was,
looks, you
let
don't
it
do
naturally
anything with
gray,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's gray,
yeah,
and,
It'll tan, you know,
yeah.
yeah.
But you
Oak may be
can't-
different.
That stuff is,
No, that stuff is so expensive and so hard to work with.
yeah.
I mean, you have to
it's like
pre-drill.
Cutting iron,
Yeah,
but that's the
Lasts
handrail
forever,
on the
though.
bridge.
yeah,
right?
it's great
Our
stuff.
deck has made it.
For
It's
sure,
great.
yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
bear with me one second.
We're not gonna set a record if you,
Sorry.
What is the record?
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
I think we did a board meeting in 22 minutes once.
Yeah, that's a sitcom.
A board meeting?
Yes, sir.
Anybody show up?
Yeah.
Getting close. So how's things down at Sanibel?
Long ways to go.
Are you gonna rebuild
Why
some
is
of
that
those?
not
or-
rotated?
Yeah. Restore as much as we can, rebuild others. We've got two that we gotta completely rebuild.
Yeah.
Try something else. Yep.
If you save it as a picture, you can then go and rotate it. It might still be warped, but
While you're looking, I wonder if I could make a thought regarding the street furniture.
You can?
When we did when the village did the planning for, like for Block 1 and Block 2, we had, I forget her name, but the woman that came here that was the designer for the streetscape, I was very impressed with her. I thought she came up with a lot of good ideas. And furniture like this is part of their bailiwick.
Well, she had some stuff.
She did. She had a number of
I mean,
suggestions.
Jody, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready to preview. Days later. Apologies, guys.
Not at all.
So the first one is the directional sign on the corner.
Two little signs up here that point to parking.
Yeah, so it is, the scale of this is supposed to be half of a standard street sign. That was the goal. The printer cut it a little short, but the goal was to make it like those finger pointing signs that you see in Europe. That was the idea, was to have that. And those templates are very hard to locate. So we came up with the idea of we'll just cut a street sign in half and with the idea of that this is pointing to the train station lot, and then on a 90-degree to the north of this is the finger pointing due north to the Walnut lot.
Could you get away with just parking in large capital? I don't know if we need public, because we don't really have, like, it's not a big town where we have like other types of parking. It's just one way to clarify
word
that.
parking.
I'm sorry?
You need to have the word public.
You do?
No, I say, do you?
No, that's what I'm saying. I would just do parking. I don't know if you
I
need,
mean, if you go downtown.
it's a small little
you
town.
know,
And the blue implies public.
Yeah.
Is it the coloring?
Yeah, and then you get large letters, easier to read, because that's hard to read,
That is hard to read.
especially at a speed that you're traveling. And Bob has a hard time even reading what's in front of him, it seems like.
Okay, that's easy enough. I'll try that. And the color,
Yeah, seems,
a little off. We'll get it match.
To match the village signs,
The blue, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes that easy.
Now, is it necessary to have the hose clamps to hold these things up?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only way that, if you look below that sign below it, that's how they connect the tray that holds the signs.
Yeah.
When I went by there to look
Wouldn't you
at
get them
those-
black maybe, or dark,
Well, those are probably
gunmetal? or-
stainless, they're stainless steel.
Right, but it would seem to me that you could get them blue
We'll try
or
to find 'em.
something
Yeah.
that,
Don't paint them because it'll peel,
yeah.
But if they come black, yeah, I'll find that out.
yeah.
I know when I went by to take a look at these, I was thinking that if I was new to town, I would never notice them.
Right, they are pretty insignificant.
Well, some of that's by design, right?
Well, I understand, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you don't want them to stand out, but you want people to be able to find them. I don't think I'd find them if I didn't know my way around like Bluff.
So the idea was the village's parking consultant said, we need to direct people to the train lot. That's the primary parking, right, lot for the central business district. And they were adamant on having clarity on the sign that's there at the train station that says it's free after a certain time, and that it's, and that make it clear that's what it is. It's not only train station parking, it's all public parking. And so the idea is, despite contemporary man and use of the phone to find, you know, most anything, that they felt like it was necessary to have some effort to direct. And the village's business advisory committee, another ad hoc body that represents merchants, mostly local merchants, and they said, similar to what you're saying, the idea is like, this is not necessarily helpful at the, because most locals know where to go, but it's something. It's a nod. It's saying we're trying, but at the same time, we're not trying to overdo it and try to have so much signage in our community that it's overkill. So
Can you place that below, or is there a height restriction?
I was gonna ask that same thing.
It seemed like it would be better below.
Because usually when you're driving around in downtown, you're looking for a parking spot, and so your eyes are like down at the car level.
What's the height of that pole?
that's a good question. I don't know.
It looked kind of tall.
Yeah, it just,
It's not.
yeah, yes.
I
Well,
couldn't reach the top of it.
It's as
but it
tall
couldn't-
as the,
I even think just as a composition is wrong on top. You know, just,
Yeah.
it just feels better below.
Let's try it. Let's try it. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Easy enough. So strike the public,
Yeah.
get the color right.
And I would do large, you know, matching capital letters instead of upper and lowercase. I think parking would stand out, read a little bit
All
better.
caps?
Yeah,
Yeah, it would.
yeah. And I don't know if it's, now, is the 50% rule, is that based on what? Just what they were
Just,
thinking?
that was just the idea to try to match scale with these other European size signs that are somewhat pedestrian oriented in scale, right?
Yeah.
But it was just to make it subordinate to the main street sign.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it makes it more distracting, or, you know, that it's not, like, if you're doing a bunch of something on a sign, no matter what it is, to have them like different sizes. I don't know if I would just choose that as a way of doing a sign. Not so much even worrying about what it is, but just, like, if I had to put one sign below another sign, it just seemed like to have them, and I understand the hierarchy and all that, but I'm wondering if it's more distracting that it's different size, different color, you know, it has to be different color. I get that.
Well, it seemed to me if you wanted to draw attention to it, maybe a different proportion. In other words, these are a rectangle going this way.
Yeah.
Maybe like more like the proportions of an 8.5 by 11 sheet
Yeah.
of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'd do a big sign. I don't know. That's just my,
And the other comment I would have is that the sign at the train station maybe provides some more information. That, you know, because if I understand it, it's Metro riders only at certain times of the day, in the general public others. Is that right? Is that correct?
It's, you need to pay for use of the train station lot for riding Metro at all times up until 10 a.m. Because that captures,
Right, they're commuters.
yes,
Right.
and that's the purpose. And so after 10, it's open to the public.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
yeah.
You had to pay.
Yeah,
But that's why I was saying that maybe a little more information. might-
and that's what it says on there.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
saw that.
and that was part of just making that crystal clear that people understood that and that there was no doubt, because, I mean, we get calls from, you know, period, a couple times a week. Hey, can I park here? Can I park here overnight?
Do you have is that a struggle to pull that up? That picture you have of the,
No more than a struggle. This one was, but give me 1 second.
They're saying maybe the sign here should be more.
actually, I know I have it on my phone.
No, I
No,
would.
there's
that's
something
what I
about
was
it that
thinking,
looks too
yes, if you
tall and
wanted it
skinny.
To stand out.
Yeah.
it looks like it's as tall as the light
On
poles.
the other hand.
Say,
it
I'm
used
so
to
sorry.
be-
I said, it looks like it's as tall as the light poles.
Well, I think the idea of putting it
great.
underneath the sign will reduce the
the other
scale.
thing
I mean,
is-
Yeah.
we can try that.
Yeah.
We'll just try it.
Yeah,
Right.
If you're a visitor, like
I think it's a couple clamps. It's not, yeah.
virtually.
Well,
Other than that.
how's
one
the
block.
That's right.
arm that holds it?
If I was
I think we can do, I think there's enough space.
looking at the same time, I would think.
You
that
know
that
what?
was
Here, let me
part of
try
that.
this too.
Right, yeah.
Let me show it from the other angle.
Look at the proportions on that.
That's a confusing sign. Can you go both ways for, so if I'm pulling, I'm trying to picture that.
So-
Yeah, then I guess that makes sense.
I don't know if I would understand that as
Yeah,
being directed to the train station, but
right, because it's
if
like,
that's the goal.
Right,
Well, that's,
and I
there's an
think if you're-
arrow on there. It would be a reflective arrow. And we can put, I mean, we can put a heavier arrow on it too.
Yeah.
yeah,
The other thing I would say is that the other lot that's on Walnut, you know, if you're driving, I guess if you're northbound on Scranton, and, excuse me, no, you're northbound on you know,
Yeah.
passing in front of Innovasi and so forth.
Yeah, yeah.
And reaching Scranton at that intersection.
Yep.
You know, you're not gonna be able to see the sign directing you to the Walnut lot.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah. Even, it's so far removed from the corner, I don't know if you'll see it coming west on Scranton.
Right, but again, a visitor is probably not gonna be coming west on Scranton.
Yeah, but then if you're coming east on Scranton, you're on the other side of the road. I don't know if,
Right, I'm just saying that if you, because I will tell you that Walnut lot, I only discovered
yeah.
literally months ago.
We try to keep that a secret for us who use it in the summer.
20 years, Art.
Yeah,
No, seriously, I saw it and I said, God damn, there's parking. All these years.
that's, all my tax dollar is hard at work. Not knowing.
That's a great point. You
But I
can't
do think,
see it.
right, you gotta have a gesture for it, right? I mean, no matter what, even if it's not the most efficient or practical, because you can't put 10 parking signs up.
Well, and that's the, right, so we could put another sign pole, because I think LAs would tell you that you don't want to have other signs on this.
Yeah.
You have to put a separate pole, and you would put a blue, and you would point an arrow going straight ahead, to your
Yeah.
point, and this way.
Yeah.
Too much?
I think it's too much for a little town.
I
Yeah,
mean, 2 poles?
yeah, it would be,
don't-
you'd have
No,
to,
no, then you're
Yeah.
gonna have 4 poles and
Yeah, I don't,
I think if you do more like Art suggested, if you take something that's more the blue color like this and that's more rectangular or 8.5 by 11, there's something like this, but put it on here and make it the same blue color.
with just
More
a,
likely to spot.
it doesn't have to say parking.
yeah, I was gonna say, everybody knows a circle with a P.
It's a circle with a P, you know,
and then-
that's, you go downtown and.
Yeah, just a
you
big
know,
thing.
1,000-car garage has got a circle with a P.
Yeah,
Right, and you can put 2 arrows on it.
Yeah.
In other words, if you,
Yeah.
the sign that's facing south.
Yeah.
You would have arrow straight and arrow horizontal.
A 90-degree
and
shot,
then-
yeah.
Right, and then the P there, and,
so how many of these will we have, like 4, like around the major corners of the square there, or?
the idea was just to do this, to get people on, because that's the corner, right? When you're
Yeah.
coming into town, that
Yeah.
would be it. And not trying to go crazy by adding too many signs.
Yeah,
Just have the clear blue P at the train station
Yeah.
and just directional.
yeah. So I think you can be obnoxious with one to make it, I'd rather have obnoxious and clear for
Yeah.
one time than
Yeah, I don't
a
think.
half
other signs,
gesture.
yeah.
Yeah. I
One on
think,
each corner is redundant.
no,
and
yeah.
Where else
it's
would you put
Too
it?
small.
Okay.
And is there, for that part, to Art's point, the Walnut parking lot, is there any designation like we have at the train station about? I really haven't paid attention, like at the entry.
That is a separate, I think it's 3-hour lot, my recollection.
But there's But there's a big blue sign there too.
Let's find out.
Kind of obvious it's a parking lot when you go to it.
But you don't know if it's public, you know, it is, to Art's point. There's a lot of apartments that you know,
Well, but there's bushes around it and so
Yeah,
forth.
and
It doesn't necessarily leap out as saying, this is a municipal lot.
right, it could be, right.
And, you know, as I say, maybe I had noticed parking there, but
Yeah.
as you say, maybe question
There's
whether
one
it
of
was.
these down there by the Walnut Launcher. What if you had another blue sign like this down by the Walnut Launcher?
Yeah, that's what we're seeing if we have one.
Is the post office, the mailbox still down there
Yeah,
Yes,
on Walnut?
yeah.
yes.
I used it about 2 days ago.
Stuff still in there, then?
There's your mailbox.
That shows where it is.
Oh, yeah, there's a, is that? Yeah, there's,
So you're supposed to enter down here.
yeah, so there's nothing, right? Am I?
This says 3-hour parking, but
Yeah,
there's no
way in
blue
the
P
back.
there. Yeah.
I mean, that's, so maybe there's a little sign there.
We can put one right here.
Yeah. So that says no parking, right?
That's
through-
talking about along this street,
Yeah.
right? It's confusing, right?
Yeah, okay, no parking.
Put it right
okay.
under the no parking sign.
Right at the
You should
entrance.
put the parking thing right on that post.
Yeah, yeah, put parking up below the no parking. It's very Chicago. There's
Yeah.
like 10, you have like 10 minutes to park free somehow.
All right,
I think you could do one just, kind of right there, like something facing,
right,
because it's, yeah, kind of where you're,
because it's one way here.
yeah, so you could just do one there, kind of,
Right here.
yeah, facing south, just a thing, and might be somewhat, yeah, because it's hard to know what's public, what's part of our,
It is.
I wonder if it can be.
Because everything behind the bank and so forth, that's all private parking,
Wait, go
right?
back for a
That's,
moment.
yeah, but does it have to be 12 feet tall?
no, I think you just do a little, at 4 feet, something, I would do it at eye level,
Well,
just
I'm
a,
just looking at the,
This post is in that picture when you just flip by it.
It is.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the blue, yeah, that's right.
Right.
I mean, I would almost do like not a ground sign, but,
well,
something
look
that's
at the
like,
no parking sign or whatever that sign is, the white sign, there may be 5-6 feet,
That talks, I think that's loading zone.
whatever it is.
Two-way traffic begins.
It's just in terms of scale and height.
That's the right size. Just too tall. Okay. I think I've got some direction and ideas. I'll come back with more.
okay.
All right.
What about the train station lot?
Oh, yep, let me get there real quick.
Okay, sideways?
One more.
In that case, is there any other business tonight?
Yeah, one more.
One more sign.
What's at the corner of Scranton and Sheridan? Is there a sign there too? Because that's,
That's what I'm gonna show you right now.
okay.
Do you have a pen?
Yeah,
I don't, I didn't bring a
couple.
pen.
Does it work?
Yes, I'm just trying to see if there's a better,
So there we go.
That one's probably better.
so is that?
I like that one.
What I don't like about it is it just looks like it was a weekend project.
It's,
Is it a weekend project? Well,
this is totally temporary.
yeah, but how is it gonna be permanently,
It would be on a black pole.
like a nice black
Yes,
pole?
yeah, Tapco, like the
Yeah.
village street signs are on a nice.
Yeah.
Yep, fluted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But it looks so good with the paint bucket at the
Don't
No,
you think
no,
so?
I knew that was wrong, but I'm just, even the other one, I mean, we spent so much time and money beautifying everything, you know, and I'm not saying we're not paying it. You know, I'm wondering if we did, even for the other one, like something, you know, like with you know, kind of like the wooden posts, you know, with a nice little sign, you know, like we have for our entrance, you know, all of those, instead of, and maybe it's more lower, you know, I just think being up high, and I don't know what height we're looking at, but I would do one that's maybe like 3 feet, I don't know what the bushes are, you know, above that, just a nice, I don't know, just, it's one of our more beautiful buildings.
It is actually.
Yeah.
And it just seems to not, you know, I don't want to just plunk there, you know, it just seems to disregard everything else we spend, you know, we worry about. And maybe that what you're doing for there is perfect, you know, I'm not saying it's not. I just want to make sure that and I know you've given attention, but. So can you show me, do you have yeah, I know you're way ahead of.
Sheridan Road right there is a state highway, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Does the sign that's there, it's not on state property, but it does, or is it? Does it come under state regulations?
It does not.
Okay. What I was thinking of is, the state has some regulations regarding the height of a sign.
You're right.
It has to be high enough that if a car drives into it, it doesn't
right.
come over and smash into the driver's
For sure,
face.
yeah, yeah.
But this is an unusual place for some.
Yeah, and you could push it back in the medium enough that you're not looking, you know, you're not blocking.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I had that.
And it's also tough because you want to direct 3 different ways, you know, going both ways and then heading directly into it, which this is only catching one direction.
Has anybody ever tried to do one that's square?
I know, I
instead of
was
a
thinking like
rectangular?
yeah,
You know, there's just something that's a more pleasing shape.
yeah, yeah.
As I was trying to show.
Even on the other one we were talking about.
Right, yeah, I think that's something, do something that's
And it's, you know, everything is rectangular and.
Yeah.
and
So that sign is right in the middle of that little green
right
dot?
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, I think something lower would be better. But bigger,
yeah.
lower and bigger.
Okay.
Is it gonna be any, because I don't remember what's in that planter, if anything has ever survived.
Most of it gets replaced every season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe we don't, maybe it's garden club flowers or something and call it a day. And that,
I think that's all it is.
yeah.
Okay. That's why I asked you guys.
That's always,
So,
can always complain.
all right. I have some ideas.
Great.
We'll work on it. Mr. Chairman, there is an attendee online now.
Okay. And invite you to speak.
Mrs. Russell, did you have a comment to make? If so, please raise your hand. Not, doesn't appear so, but let me.
Oh, pen?
Yeah. Okay, still not raising your hand, so. That's all the direction I was looking for tonight.
Okay, so then we are
I'm gonna
complete.
try again, yes. And as a preview again, for next, March should be a pretty big agenda with the codes as well as the footbridge, Glen Avenue footbridge. That's all I have, sir.
You gonna do the footbridge? Because I can't vote.
Yes, you can.
I can explain what I did.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, we're done, so need a.
I move to adjourn.
Huh?
Second.
Did you make a motion?
You did, you got a first and a second? Yep, yep.
Okay,
Means
all
close.
right, we're done. Meeting
Is
adjourned.
that a record?
I don't know, it's not a record.
Recording stopped.
Are you done?